Hey folks, it's me again. 2 days in a row, imagine that. I'm out driving, because I don't know, I find it helps with the thinking about what I want to say, I guess. I don't know. It's almost kind of therapeutic in a way. Today I want to talk about the biggest medical change, I guess, in my life that I've ever been through. And that, of course, is the loss of my right foot. I had an amputation of the right foot and, I don't know, a good foot above it, I guess. Foot above my foot. Of leg. Back in April of 2018. Just months before my baby daughter, Hope, was born. The cause, of course, was diabetes. I spent much of the previous decade ignoring my diabetes, hoping that it would kill me. I was in a marriage that I just wasn't happy in, and so I ignored my diabetes for quite a long time, just hoping that it would end my life. And then suddenly I decided that I didn't necessarily want to die. I wanted to be there for my kids, so I tried losing weight. I got out there, I started walking a lot. I mean, a lot. And when I started trying to lose weight and better myself by walking and exercising, that's when I started getting sores on my feet, mostly my right foot. And I had a close call with my right foot in, I want to say it was 2013. And so that began a 5-year nightmare of my right foot. Many close calls, but I always managed to keep it until 2018. In January, I got some sores on the small toe on the right side of my right foot that just kept going from bad to worse. And even though I was at a podiatrist's office every week for months, a podiatrist who continuously assured me that it was fine, it was not fine. And this podiatrist did nothing for me. He kind of just cleaned it and debrided the area and sent me along my way. I was never placed in a protective boot. I was never, nothing was ever done for me. My previous podiatrist had retired, and of course we moved to Shenandoah. So I no longer had access to that podiatrist. This one just kind of dismissed me as nothing, and story short, I don't know if it was long or not, mid story short, I guess, I did lose my foot in probably one of the most horrifying couple of days of my life. And something happened when I lost my foot, and that's that I started to feel a profound sense of loneliness. Not maybe physical loneliness or physical loneliness. I wasn't alone. I have quite a support system, but I don't really have anybody that I'm close to in my life that has been through what I have gone through. My Uncle Casey, by the end of his life, had lost both of his legs, but he's been gone for a few years, so I don't really have, anyone in my life that has been through this, that knows how hard it is. At the end of the day, I take my prosthetic off and I feel like a cripple again. With that prosthetic on, I feel almost normal. I worry about people looking at me, and I just try to ignore it. But at the end of the day, when you take that prosthetic off, it's just, I can't describe it. I just feel like nothing, like I did this to me, like this is all my fault. And I just feel this profound sense of loneliness in it. Don't get me wrong, I have an amazing girlfriend and fantastic kids and family that are there for me, but thankfully none of them know exactly what I'm going through. Because if they knew exactly what I'm going through, of course they'd lose their own limb, and it's been hard. Nights, like I said, they're the worst. Once I take that prosthetic off, I become a cripple again. And immediately after losing my foot, I think it was just like the 4 months that I waited for my, the wound to heal so that I could get the prosthetic, because it needs to be completely healed to start putting the weight and pressure on that thing. So I spent a good 4 months with, barely being mobile. I had my walker, and so I kind of hopped everywhere. And when we had Hope in July, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't help. In order for me to help much, somebody had to take her somewhere where I could change her. She had to be brought to me. I couldn't go get her myself because, I can't hold on to my walker with two hands and hop around with a baby. That's not safe for her. That's not safe for me. And so I felt, honestly, I felt completely worthless. And, I feel like I've missed a lot of great moments in this first month of her life waiting for my prosthetic. So whenever I take this thing off, those feelings, they just kind of rush back at me. And it's hard. It was nice having a foot all those years. But like I said, that right foot, it was giving me problems for 5 years. It was fine when I was just eating and getting fat and not doing anything. It was once I started bettering my life and, my health. It took me a little bit longer to better my life. But once I started bettering my health, that's when all the trouble started. And it's crazy. I was able to come down almost 100 pounds, I believe. At one point at my biggest, I was 465, and now I keep hovering right around 300. So once I really started trying to lose weight is when all the trouble with my right foot started. And, it comes from diabetic neuropathy that I caused myself by ignoring my diabetes for so long, hoping that it would kill me. It didn't kill me. It just left me with this lifelong handicap. And it's rough. A lot of the times I'm able to forget it, but there are many occasions where I'm reminded, I'm crippled. I can't walk without the help of a man-made device. And don't get me wrong, this prosthetic is amazing. I mean, when I'm wearing it and walking and not thinking about it, it's like any other normal time. Unfortunately, I can't really get back into the amount of walking I do because in my head, I'm still afraid it's going to happen to the left foot. I did get blisters on the left foot from time to time. Nowhere near as much as the right foot. So it's always in the back of my head, if I push it, if I walk too much, if I do too much, will I lose the left one too? And I don't want to lose my left foot. I didn't want to lose the right one. I mean, he was a bit of an asshole, a bit of a hill. But, it left me handicapped for the rest of my life. And, it's hard. I put on, a smiling face and I joke, and that helps. It does. It helps me immensely. When people joke around with me, it helps. It makes me feel less of a joke and more of the joker, I guess. I don't know. It's been rough. I don't recommend losing a foot. I think we're given to for a very nice reason. And I recommend you keep it if you can. Don't purposely lose a foot. It sucks. It sucks. I still have trouble with stairs. Thankfully, I can carry my baby girl now. I remember the first day I did. I carried her inside from the car. I cried. It was an emotional moment in my life. So I'm limited still in what I can do, but I can help with Hope a lot more than I could those first few months of her life. It was about a month, I think. So, anyways, that's the joys of being an amputee. Most of the time I put on a happy face, I joke around, but once that thing comes off, my head goes, into some of the darkest places, and I don't feel like, hashing those out here. But there are nights that they're just harder than others. I think last night was one of them, and that's why I'm recording this. I don't know. Anyhow, I think I've rambled on for quite a bit on this, and I'll probably talk about that again sometime. I feel like maybe it's therapeutic, or maybe it'll help someone. I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff I'd like to talk about. I like music. I love my family. I have my bands. And, that'll keep my mind off of this when I need to. So that's good. Large family. major changes in my life over the last couple of years. So, I'd like to talk about all of those at some point. But today, I just kind of wanted to get this off my chest and out of my head for a bit. And now I'm going to go play Borderlands. So, if you watched this, thank you. Leave comments for me. Ask anything about the surgery, amputation, anything you want. And within reason, I'll answer it. Because, if I can help anyone, I'd like to try. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again sometime. Doodles.